So Listhub is twofold. Not only does it report numbers on our listings, it also sends our listings everywhere. So when you first log in, it's listhub.com. We do have the link through an online office. The link through will not auto log you in. The way that agents get their passwords for Listhub is when they first get a listing, it goes through our flow from the MLS to online office to Listhub. Once that happens, they get an email asking them to join Listhub. Now, if you are a non-selling manager or if you're an admin, I can manually give you logins for your office. If you don't already have one, just reach out to me, send me an email and let me know. And I will then get you a password that will let you see all of your office's listings. So the screen that you're looking at now would be company-wide. So when you log in for your offices, you would see just your office listings, or if you're in on an agent level, you would see just your listings as an agent. So again, keep in mind, the agents have to have a listing in order to log into Listhub. So if you click on the Publishers tab, this is going to show you everywhere that the listings are being sent via the feed. And you can see there is a lot of different options. Now, anytime there's a little red plus next to it, you click on that, and it shows you the extension of all the other websites that are being forwarded from that particular website. So I clicked on homes.com, but you can see that it also goes to all of these different websites as well. So that's what the little plus means next to the publisher. So anytime you see that, you can click on it and it will let you know where else along with that main website those listings are being sent to. Now keep in mind we are in the feed, so listings go in the MLS. At some point that day or the next morning they get sent to Listhub, and then anytime in the next 24 to 48 hours they go out across all websites. So that is why it does take some time to get on these websites. So that's how the publisher works. But that's only one fold of Listhub. The Schmidts have paid for premium Listhub for all of our agents, and that allows them to send the listing reports across to their clients. So admins can set this up for your agents as long as you have the seller's email, or of course agents can set it up for themselves. And the nice thing is you set it up one time and then it goes to them at your choice of intervals. You don't have to stop it, because once the listing goes either under contract or gets withdrawn, those reports simply just stop going out. The feed does update the listings so that they will no longer get those reports. So in order to set those up, it's real simple. You go to inventory, you search for the MLS that you want. Of course, if you are in as an agent or if they're in their own accounts, they're only going to see their own listings. If you're in at the office level, you will see all of your office listings. So this can be a great added benefit customer service product that we can offer our agents, is by setting these up for them. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick a random listing. Hopefully that's not a lot in a land so that you can see more activity. So here's a single family one in Punta Gorda, which is where I'll be tomorrow. Anytime you see the little arrows here, that means that a seller's email has already been set up. So on this property in Petoskey, there's no little arrows. There is no auto email set up there. So if you click property page, that's going to take you to the website. In this case, it's CB Florida Homes. Obviously in Ohio it would be CB Hunter, and in Michigan it would be CB Great Lakes. So it takes you right to that website. The seller report will show you what the report will look like when you send it to the seller. So if you click on that, it'll load. You can see it's completely branded. This particular agent hasn't put their photo in, and I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. But it is branded with their information and then the information about the property. So from here, if you're viewing it, you can click right here to send or schedule a seller report. Or if you're from your main screen, you just want to click on seller email. So you can see this one's already been set up. So it's a simple email template that you fill out one time, and then for the life of that listing, it stays the same. You put in the seller's first name, last name. You can put in a co-lister if it's a spouse or if it's a trust and there's more than one person you're reporting to. You can put in multiple emails. It tells you right here just to separate them with commas. You can CC other people. So if you want to send it to the main person of the trust but CC somebody else, you can do that. Or you can separate them by commas and have them all in the to field. If you have your email address in Listhub, it's going to be tied to your online office email because that is what's feeding Listhub. But if you want them to reply to your Gmail or whatever it might be, you can change that here. If you just want, if you want it CC'd to you, which is always good because if they get the report and they pick up the phone and call the agent for more information, you kind of want to know what they're talking about. So a lot of agents will CC themselves and then they just put a rule on their email that any Listhub reports get sent to a folder. So they have it if they need it if a client calls, but they don't necessarily have it in their inbox to keep it full. So CC the agent, you just click yes. Your subject comes in, report for, and then the address will autofill. Anytime you see those little arrows, that means information is going to autofill. Or you can change the subject if you want. Same thing with the body of the email. There is stock information in here, but you can update that for each client to make it a little bit more personable, or you can leave it the same, whatever you want. But you can see the seller's name's going to pull in, and your name will pull in. You can send the report right away, which you probably would not want to do if you're setting this up right after it's listed, because there wouldn't really be much to report, because it would be just getting across the web. But you can choose to send it right away, or you can schedule it. So these are your options. You can schedule it on Wednesday every week, you can schedule it for the first of the month, or you can schedule it for twice a month. So if it's a hot property in a demographic that you know is probably going to sell quickly, so it's going to be viewed a lot online, you may want to send it twice a month. If it's a property that's probably not going to be viewed as frequently, you probably want to just do it once a month. You can choose never, which might seem strange to you if you're scheduling, but the reason why you would pick never is if you're going to send it right away, but you don't want to schedule it future. You just want to send it one time. You have 4 different theme options: market comparison without leads, list view, and list view without leads. My personal favorite is list view without leads. This leads is very misleading. So let me update my preview and I'll show you what I mean. So you can see when you scroll down, once you update preview by checking the report that you want to view, update preview, and then your email is going to show you. The subject is exactly that. The body of the email, because we did not update it, but you can see it's put in the name. And then the report preview. So your property has received a total of 86 detail views. Now this particular property doesn't, it has been listed for a while because Zillow is showing on here. Zillow and Trulia no longer feed their information to Listhub. And it's been like that since 2 years ago when Listhub severed ties. We've been working with them to try to get that back. We're making some headway, but we're not there yet. So keep in mind any new listings have not been reported Zillow or Trulia numbers. So back to the leads, the reason why I choose without leads. So when it says leads, it doesn't necessarily mean a lead came through. So if a client's on the website and they click the little button for more information, but they never actually submit it, it still comes through tallied as a lead, which it never really was a lead because we never got the information from that particular buyer. They clicked the button to contact us, but they never actually contacted us. So those leads are very misleading, which is why I always choose the reports without leads. So in this particular case, it wasn't a great example to pick, but you can see it was viewed 86 times, 43 on Realtor.com, 24 on Zillow, because again, this is an old listing. And then it does show you the activity of when over the last 4 weeks and the top cities. So let's just back out real quick and we will pick a different listing. So again, inventory, and then you want to pick your listing.
I put down a few of my working dogs.
So we'll go to seller email on this one. We'll scroll down. We'll choose list view without leads. Update our preview. This one's 577 views. Again, an older property because Zillow is showing up. But you can see it's plotting out over the last 4 weeks how many times it was viewed and the top cities that it's being viewed in. So those top cities can be important for your Facebook advertising. If you want to pick up the zip codes for those cities, it can be a really good way to market on Facebook. And let me just check my notes real quick and see if there's any questions. Good point. Mike had told me if I went to page 587, I will have the newest listing. So let me just jump back to inventory, go to our newest listings. We'll pick this one in Kingsley. And again, this one's not been set up. There was not any little arrows there, so you can set it up how you want. Again, the agent had put their photo in here, so you can see that. So I did not change my preview yet to no leads, so you can see where that leads comes in. And this particular one is so new, there's actually not any information on it yet. So let me back up a few pages here. So you can see it's very easy to navigate in here. You just flip pages. You can search by MLS number, which is the easiest way if you're getting in for a new listing and you want to set it up for your agent and you're in your office. It's just going to be able to find it easier if you have the MLS number. So you do have that option. So again, real easy to set up. You can CC yourself or CC your agent if you're setting it up for your agent. Now the market comparison report, and again, this one's still pretty new, so there's only 4 showing on this. So you have all of these options of the reports that you want to send. So let me show you real quick. If you go in the upper right corner, of course your agent name or your name if you're in there for your office is going to show up here. And you can go to settings and you can go to user information. Put I'm in Fred's account because that's the office account. And then your agent would fill out this information. Now you can't do this for your agent from the office account. You have to be logged in under their account in order to be able to update their information. So if they're logged in and they need help, you can let them know just to go to their name, go to settings, go to user information, and this is where they can update that information, and this is where they can put in their photo so that it shows up on those reports. They also have the opportunity to pick any of these designations here if they have that designation. And then they can also select to get all of their reports and not just CC'd on particular ones. If they want to get reports for all of their listings, whether they've set it up for the seller or not, they can turn that to yes here and schedule it how often. If they want these reports to go to an assistant or to a team member instead of themselves, they can put that alternate email in here. So this isn't tied to any specific listing. This gives them the opportunity to get all of their reports at what interval they choose, whether they've set it up for the seller or not. Now keep in mind, if they have this option turned on, they don't need to CC themselves in each individual listing because they would just be getting the report twice. So that is Listhub. And again, it's twofold. It sends our listings out across to all of our publishers in this list here that you get by clicking on publishers. And it also allows us to set up those seller reports. And again, you can get in there at an office level as an office manager or office admin. All you have to do is send me an email if you don't currently have an account, and I can set you up so that you are able to send these reports out. So to go back to that market comparison, I finally found one that will show you what that market comparison looks like. So it says your property has performed as well or better than 84% of the market since October 2013. So that's what the market comparison report will look like after they've got enough data to create that report. And that's just ranking this property within the zip code for the market. So that's how the market comparison works. So again, takeaways today: if you don't have an office account, let me know. I can set one up for you. Just send me an email. If you want to look at the publishers where your listings or your agent's listings are going, you click on publishers. Anything with a plus means there's an extended network of additional websites that are going in addition to the main website. To set up those seller reports, you click on inventory in the upper left corner, find your property. Again, keep in mind, property page will take you to that website page on our CB Great Lakes, CB Hunter, or CB Florida Homes. Seller report will let you view the report. Seller email will let you set up the actual email. And then again, anything with those 2 little arrows next to the seller email means that there's already been one set up. So that is Listhub. 15 minutes. I know it was quick, but Listhub is pretty simple, but it's very powerful. Those seller reports have helped a lot of agents get price reductions. So if the property is being viewed multiple times online, but they're not getting any showing requests, it can be a good conversation to have with the seller to get a price reduction or adjustment, whatever you call it in your market. So they can be pretty powerful. Plus, it's a good way for your agents to keep in touch with that seller, but have it automated so that they don't actually have to send out an email every week or every 2 weeks. But it can also be a good way to trigger them to make a phone call. So when they get that report, they can pick up the phone to call their seller to discuss it. So a lot of good applications for Listhub. Keep in mind you can get there from listhub.com. There's also a link through from Online Office, but that will not auto-log you in. It will not auto-log your agents in. They do have to know their username or password. And keep in mind that's auto-generated by the system once they get their first listing. I haven't seen any questions come through, so I will give it one more moment here to see if anybody has any questions for me. If not, I will put this recording into Online Office. I am traveling, so it may take me a couple days, and once I listen back, if there's too much background noise, I actually may re-record it. So I like to try to get them in the same day, but this one might take an additional time. So look forward to it probably towards the end of the week. And I haven't seen any other questions come through, so as always, you can reach me after the fact by email or by phone and let me know if you have any questions, or once you get in there and play around with it, if you have any issues, just reach out to me and let me know. So I really appreciate everybody's help. Thank you so much for joining us here on the third Wednesday of the month, and I hope everybody has a great rest of your week and a great weekend. Thank you.